start doing running. You should be back, huffing down some Pall Malls, kicking back some brewskis.
Not anymore, man. Yeah. Getting older.
Oh man, you ain't that old. You're not even 40, right?
No, I'm 34.
I'll be 61 in 2 days.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Oh
This is like my birthday present.
yeah. Nice. That's awesome, man.
By the way, I'm not ashamed to tell you, I am a little bit nervous on this one.
Dude, don't be nervous at all. I should be
Oh,
the one
dude,
being nervous. You're asking me the
you get
questions.
you guys kicked off my career, man.
Oh, what?
Yeah, yeah. So I was this small blog. I wrote like once a month,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't check my email for months, right? And all of a sudden, I get this email from somebody named Claire from Purple Sage.
Yeah.
And hey, would you like to review this? And she sent me like a promo, and I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like a 10-year-old taking things too serious. I'm listening to In the Dark. I'm taking my notes. I'm trying to be edgy. You guys were my first review ever that was, from a PR company.
That's awesome, man. I remember reading it actually for In the Dark, and yeah, it was awesome. You did your homework. A lot of times you just see people copy and paste like the PR blurb, but we
Oh,
appreciate
like I have right here.
yeah, man. No, we appreciate it. Like you taking the time to listen it and to write about it. So I'm glad we're talking.
I felt like I was a little harsh and I might have missed the boat on a couple things. At the same time, I knew because I was familiar with your stuff, right? And I knew like on I think it's your first full length. It's Love, Lust,
Lost.
Lost.
Yeah.
That is a heavy, dark album, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're in a different mental space.
Yeah. I mean, we were in our early 20s. People change over, we've been a band for 10 years, and when we first started, influences change, what you want to play changes, how it's cool to just like I've been talking about it in the couple interviews I've been doing, just like the natural progression of the band, just starting from that, kind of first sludge metal, heavy post-hardcore noise rock kind of stuff to I don't know, whatever it is today, which is, that more kind of, I guess, I don't want to say mainstream because we're definitely not mainstream, but it's heavy, it's catchy, and it's definitely more clean singing focus. So, yeah, it's
Dude,
totally
you're like
band.
it's the other reason I'm nervous is, in my opinion, Abrams is the great stoner hope
Hell yeah.
that a band in the underground has the ability to go into mainstream if other certain gatekeepers, Anthony Fantano, would listen. These guys would listen to music instead of going, today's music sucks, and they go to the Billboard Top 100 and they go, this is the kids these days.
Yeah.
That has to frustrate the hell out of you guys.
I mean, a little bit, like maybe more so back in the day when we first, I don't know. I mean, because like, our goal is to, write the music we want to write. And if it connects with anybody, then we're happy. But of course, yeah, we want to get it into the ears as to as many ears as possible is the goal, it's hard doing this, the band, with jobs and stuff. We don't make money, but we do it out of love and passion. And like I said, if we get if just the fact I'm talking to you is about music that we wrote is cool. We're stoked with that. So we're happy.
I hear you, but you don't get Dave Otero to be your producer, to go, hey, if my friends listen, if mom likes it,
Yeah.
that's cool. I mean, Atero is a serious dude, right?
Yeah,
But my problem, it's not a problem. You see, there I go, right?
yeah,
But the thing about Otero is he's really good at calming things down a little bit on the record. I felt like he took some of the edge off Chemist, and rightfully so,
yeah.
because the album, Chemist, it, they did great. So I'm curious. You made the move from Small Stone to Blues Funeral.
Yeah.
Like, I don't strategically, when I saw that move, I'm like, wait a minute, this is like chocolate and mustard in a lot of ways. But when I listen to this album, it's chocolate and peanut butter. It just freaking works. Was it a conscious choice to lean a little bit more into your, well, you're a shredder. You are.
Thanks.
Was it a conscious choice to go, you know what? F it. I'm just going to let loose.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we set out to write like a new record, it's never really like it's kind of just spur of the moment kind of stuff. It's never like I never sit down and like, all right, I'm gonna write a song that sounds like the Melvins or something. It's just kind of how we do it is we just kind of come in with a riff or a full demo, and I try not to listen to too much outside music while I'm writing personally, just because I feel like
Okay.
that can like kind of influence my writing a little bit. So it's just kind of whatever comes naturally and out of nowhere. And then we try and come in with like 15 songs and pick the best 10 or so for the record that we think. And you know I'm a fan of guitar solos, and yeah, I mean, like we try to, put them wherever appropriate, but yeah, it's cool. It's like this new record, it definitely is a step in a different direction, but it still has those older kind of Abrams kind of stylings too. And like you were saying, like Dave Otero, like he did our last couple of records, and yeah, he does have a very polished, clean sound. And, kind of wanting to change things up a little bit for this record, we were like, let's just change things up, maybe in the producer engineer den. So we were lucky to work with Kurt Ballou for this new record, which was, definitely a bucket list item. And
Well, it's a gutsy move going with the guy that did Torch.
yeah,
You know, did you ever get a chance to see them?
yeah, I've got to see Torch a handful of times.
Loudest freaking band I've ever heard, unforgivably loud. Quick story. One of my all-time favorite bands is called Dredge, and I
Oh,
have a
Dredge
feeling you
from
might have
Santa Cruz.
Dredge.
I
Yeah,
love Dredge. Dredge was my shit. Like
yeah.
To Catch Without Arms, I think that record.
Oh yeah, and El Cello.
El Cello is fantastic.
So I saw Dredge in Santa Cruz, and that they've got a couple thousand people. Um, and to hear, a couple thousand people singing Canyon,
Yeah,
but to hear them singing along, it's amazing. Anyway,
yeah.
Torch is the second band, and everybody moves forward to the stage to see Torch. And all they did was come out and tune, and you saw hundreds of people take like 5 steps back.
Oh wow, they were
It's
so
like
damn
we're in the
loud.
balcony. Yeah, we're in the balcony. We have earplugs. We actually sunk down beneath the balcony, and it was still wave after wave. Unforgivable.
Yeah, I mean, that must have because like I've seen them a couple of times, and yeah, they're definitely loud. Not one of the loudest bands I've seen. I mean, I've been to a Sun show, and that's just you better
Okay.
wear some diapers for that. But that's a cool show. I had no idea those bands toured, or maybe it was like a festival or something. But yeah, I mean,
No, it was a tour.
cool.
It would have been around 2009,
Okay.
2010.
Yeah, I first saw them on the 2013 tour. The my favorite record, Harmonicraft. Kurt did so that was like kind of when we were trying to figure out like where should we go and like who do you think would be a good fit with us. It was like that record, Harmonicraft. I think he just mixed it. That record is I think it's perfect sounding, and the latest Cave In record. I can't remember the name of it. It's skipping my head, but that record that came out 2022. Those two records were like, okay, these bands kind of sound similar to us, and
Yeah,
I think it would turn out cool. And yeah, we're really happy with the results with how this record sounds.
yeah, you should be.
Thanks.
So it's interesting to me that you say you don't listen to a lot of music while you're writing, because with all due respect, you write like a music critic, and I picked up a little bit of Dredge. I picked up,
That's cool.
reviewer. So it's like coffee, right?
Yeah,
Oh, it has subtle aftertones of cherry and pit,
I
but
love hearing it.
it's there. And I was, prepping for this interview last night, and I was trying to keep track of all the influences. And in my mind, listening to you is like an oral game of Twister, because here is a little bit here, it's a little bit here.
Yeah,
And I might do yoga on occasion, but I can't twist it. The thing about Blue City is, and I'm always afraid I'm going to be an asshole,
no,
right?
go for it. I don't give a
I
shit.
remember Chris Cornell, when they came out with Super Unknown, everybody's going, "Oh, this is the greatest thing you ever wrote," and he's like, "Yeah, what about my last album? That
Yeah,
was pretty good.
yes,
Bad Motorfinger, not a bad."
badass.
So I'm hesitant, and I don't want to accidentally insult, but this to me, it's almost like the first Abrams album, where everything, the influences you pulled from when I listen to this are mostly yours.
That's cool. I that's really cool to
There's a
hear.
there's a continuity to it. It reminds me a little bit of Opeth's arc.
Yep.
They start out with like Orchid and Morning Rise, and then you have this arc, and I'm ear to ear grin listening to this. And brutal year to release your best album. The albums coming out this year are stunning.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good year. I mean, there's good music coming out every year, so it's the nature of the beast. But no, I love hearing all that stuff, about like, people always say like it sounds like this, it sounds like that. And I think that's what's cool about our band and the music we write is like I think there's just like if you're a fan of heavy rock in general, like there's gonna be something for you in it. And it's cool how you say like it just sounds like a little bit of each Abrams record, and I think that's very true. And yeah, I've never heard that one before, but no, I appreciate it. And
Now you all of you guys took your gloves off on this one. The bass playing is absolutely
yeah,
spectacular. I love the work he's doing. The percussion work is where a lot of the Dredge ideas come from,
yeah,
because it's a similar thing. It's an absolute blast. I think Abrams is that band that you could get a Slipknot fan, probably a Linkin Park fan, and a Soundgarden fan, and an Iron Maiden fan in one room. Listen to this, and they'd be going, "Yeah, this
yeah,
rocks."
hell yeah. Yeah, we did
I,
that too.
I
We play some like smaller towns where like I don't know, like we play like some weird metal shows and like it's always kind of awkward of like not awkward, but we get on some like awkward billing because we're never really like a good fit for just like I don't know. I feel like what we're doing now, it might sound familiar, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of bands doing what we're doing right now. And it's like
no,
it's a lot of like extreme metal or like super like alternative indie kind of rock and the whole rock spectrum thing that's super popular right now. But so yeah, we play on some interesting bills, and there's always like a weird it's we're kind of like the outlier for each show. It seems like okay, that was definitely not like crazy to we play with fucking like I don't know bands that sound like Full of Hell like and super
I know,
crazy.
Unsane.
Yeah, we play with Unsane, which is great. I mean, that's a cool fit. Like, but yeah, it's keeps us on our toes, I guess.
I think you guys would have fit. Again, this is misinterpretation, because I actually think you're ahead of the curve. You're not behind it.
Cool.
But my girlfriend was asking, "What do they sound like?" And my snark came out and said, "They're like a heavy Chevelle, with syncopation and
That's
so."
cool. I got that. We played in Fort Collins a couple weeks ago, and some guy was like, "Dude, like you sound like Chevelle, like the singer from Chevelle." I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That band sold a lot of records. That's cool."
They
Yeah.
did, but are you deliberately trying to ride that fine line between full ahead, like shoegazy, hard rock, and pop?
Not like, I wouldn't say like on purpose. I think just naturally like the guitar style that I play kind of tends towards that. It favors that maybe because I don't know. I love like really fuzzy, distorted guitars and a shit ton of, modulation pedals too. So like delay, reverb, all that shit. So naturally it kind of sounds like there's a hint of like shoegaze influence in our music. And I think that shit's cool. Like that's starting to come back too. Our bass player is more of like the shoegaze fan, Taylor. He's like, really into like, I don't know, like Slow Dive, My Bloody Valentine, that kind of stuff. But I love that stuff too. And I think with the last record In the Dark, we kind of started to like really work on dynamics and like the mixing, all we were always going to be the loud, have the loud, but we wanted to definitely like try and work in some chill, like, quiet mixed with the loud. And once we got comfortable with that, it's like, okay, we can do this shit too. And it helped us just expand our sound and evolve, adding that type of new just that comfortability and in clean singing, standing on stage, like chilling out for a little bit. Not always having to go throttle to the metal, pedal to the metal. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
You
You
know,
know,
I screw them up all the
yeah,
time.
man. But yeah, we got comfortable with that, and like I like those records where it's like front to back listen, where it's not just all in your face. There's some like relief of some more chiller ambient sounds too. So I think this record does a little bit of that too.
Has anybody asked you if this is a concept album?
Um, yeah, I've gotten a couple questions about it. There's like a kind of an overarching theme about it naturally, like just what I wrote, I think all the lyrics for this. Maybe I had some help from like Taylor. Because he sang a lot of harmonies on this record and helps me a little bit with lyrics. But yeah, there was like an overarching theme of being comfortable with routine and that being kind of like dangerous in progressing and as a human, um, as a musician, as a friend, as a partner. So that's kind of the overarching theme. And like once we finished recording and started the long drive home, we had a lot of time. So we were like, we're never really good at, I guess, naming shit or agreeing to name like a song title. So it's always like last minute, but this one was pretty quick where, yeah, we figured this one out pretty quick where we liked the title Blue City, and that was kind of had the overarching theme of what I was just telling you.
Ethereal is probably my favorite
Is it?
song.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I love the vibe. I love how where it fits in the continuity of the album. I noticed that you scaled back, you upped the intensity, but you're writing, in that sweet spot, 3.5, 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Deliberate?
I don't know. I think I started liking more like to the point, concise kind of writing. And we do follow, for the most part, it's like that formulaic kind of, verse, chorus, verse, bridge, whatever, on a lot of them. And I think maybe a little bit deliberate. Where we used to write some pretty long songs. I don't know, our longest song might be like 5.5 minutes, which I think is long, but I like to the point. I think that's everyone's attention span these days. There's just everyone has 10-second itis. I was like, fuck it, let's just, especially with the hooks, like we really, the last couple records, this one and in the dark specifically, we really put a focus on like vocal hooks, I think, and that I think that maybe he was like, all right, let's just do 3 to 4.5 minute songs, and that's just the way it worked out.
Okay, Blues Funeral.
Yeah.
When I think of Blues Funeral, I think of Best Varielson. I think of, Swedish Doom. I think of how how did that happen?
Um, Good question. Yeah, last record we were with Small Stone, and that was great.
Love them.
Yeah, Scott's been really great to us. It was just a one record deal, and we were kind of um, just like looking to change things up, I guess. And we had some friends who talked great things about Blues Funeral and put us in touch with them, and we're really happy with the partnership. I mean, our friends Hastronaut actually, they're out of Denver. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I've got I've done a little coverage over Hash and Nut.
cool. Yeah, so Denver's a small, our whole scene's pretty tight knit community. A lot of people know each other, and it's everyone's really friendly, and got us in touch with Blues Funeral, and yeah, we're really happy with everything that they've helped us out with, and it's been good for sure.
Yeah, in fact, my writer Blake, my writer, the guy who I'm lucky enough contributes to me, Blake, he's from the band Iwas. He covered Hash or Not, and his whole take was they were saving, the underground.
Nice, that's
Um,
cool. But yeah,
a little hyperbolic, but
it's kind of like a stoner rock. We've somehow we got like grouped into stoner rock, which I don't think I mean, we might have a little bit of like stoner rock tendencies, but like we're definitely not like a stoner rock band. But
no, no, not even,
no,
not
no,
close, and you're not Doom.
yeah, not Doom. We're just a rock band, and I think there's some similarities. Some people who listen to that shit kind of listen to what we listen to, but yeah, we're just happy to be along for the ride.
I was in, when I first discovered Abrams, I was, God save me, in a Reddit thread a long time ago, and it's like all these dudes are going, yeah, yeah, Abrams. It's like the really heavy dudes are, and I'm like, dude, you were just capping on sleep for selling out on the sciences and saying that they were watered down, but you're on Abrams. It's funny.
Were they talking
It
smack?
is not about you. They
Oh,
were
about
talking
sleep.
smack about
Yeah,
sleep,
yeah,
but they
yeah,
love you
exactly.
guys. And hey, sometimes they smoke a little bit too much of the wrong strain.
Yeah,
And no, that's when I first heard about you guys,
cool.
and I gave it a check out. And it's like again, I really do. When I listen to your music, especially talking now and preparing for this, it's like I think you do have the stoner doom scene. The people that know you definitely on your side, man.
Cool.
Definitely, they're like, dude, make it. Just make sure don't forget about
Hey
us.
man, we'll take all the fans we can get. So wherever they come from, doesn't matter.
This album's gonna get them for you. So, what does your tour situation look like over the
Yeah,
next few months?
yeah, man. We're doing a tour in June, about like 2.5 weeks, I think, something like that. On the West Coast. Are you in Santa Cruz?
No, I'm in Apex, North Carolina, just
Oh,
south
right
of
on.
Raleigh. I used to live my I lived in California for like 15 years.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. I'm from Southern California, but I've got family in Raleigh. I was just out there a couple weeks ago for a wedding. Beautiful state. Everyone's moving there. But so yeah, we're doing 2 weeks in June. I think it's June 6th through the 21st, like 15, 16, 17 shows, something like that. A lot of them are with our buds in Goya, who's a
okay.
fantastic heavy stoner band from Phoenix. So we're really stoked to be playing with them. And then we are going to be doing, it hasn't been announced yet, but well, our Desert Fest New York has been announced. So we're really stoked. Yeah.
I
He's back.
went there last year.
Did you go last year? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so my brother played last year. He was the drummer for Mondo Generator. Uh,
No
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah. So he played. We were actually recording in Salem during that time, this record, and then we met up with them in Providence. So we got to hang out with them, but we didn't get to go. But he said great things about the fest, and we'll be doing some tour dates around Desert Fest in September. Um, Probably around the same amount of dates. Hopefully that gets announced within the next month or so. And then,
Well, it is now. I mean, there's going to be about 30 people that are going to be like, oh, God, we got the scoop.
hell yeah, dude. Yeah, we haven't been on the East Coast in a while, so we're very excited about that. We did just sign on with a new booking agency like this week, which we're really excited about. So Hopefully we can work up some more stuff. We're trying to, stay very busy and hopefully get, some good support slots maybe, but we'll see what we can garner up and trying to stay busy through, 2025. Um,
Any plans or thoughts about Europe?
Man, book it and we'll come. We've talked to a couple of, like festival promoters out there, specifically like in the UK. But nothing like really financially makes sense yet. We're really itching to get across, to get over there. But we don't have a European agency really right now, so hopefully there'll be something in the works, but it's just got to make sense for everybody, But hopefully,
Okay. Now it's a chance for you and me to switch places.
okay,
You're not you're not writing. The album's coming out. Who are you listening to? Who are the bands
yeah,
that?
dude, good question. I've been listening to a lot of like this heavy psych shit right now. Like I'm probably one of my favorite records that came out this year is a band called Meat Bodies. And they just came out with a record called like Flora Ocean Prime or something.
Okay.
They're fantastic. I think you dig it. It's got like a Smashing Pumpkins kind of like shoegazy vibe. Um, but I've been really listening to a shit ton of that. And with Albini passing, I've been listening to a lot of his recordings, a lot of Shellac. I think he's got a record coming. I think they have a record coming out tomorrow, actually, Shellac, which is kind of sad because but yeah, I've been listening to a lot of like Jesus Lizard, Slint, the Breeders, like basically everything he's touched. I think even like he did a Weed Eater record that I didn't even know about.
Yeah, he did. And Ohm.
Yeah, and yeah. Yeah, so he's just done so much shit and like man, that would have been so awesome to be able to work with him. But I've been also just watching a bunch of interviews with him and like dude's so entertaining and funny. Um,
Yeah.
but he would probably hate our band, so I'd be terrified to record with him.
Why do you think he'd hate your band?
I don't know, he's
I
just a
don't think.
shit talker, man. We all are, but he's just like notoriously like, I don't know. I just am self-conscious like that. But I was self-conscious with working with Kurt and Dave, like I mean those guys are big time dudes and they were very cool and very nice to us. What about you? What you been jamming besides Blue City?
God, you know, I get 200 submissions a
That's
week.
too much shit, man.
It is too much. It is too much shit. So generally, I'm putting stuff on and listening for about 20 seconds. And if that first 20 seconds, and I realize, man, I'm like one of those old dudes with the cigar, kid, you didn't get me. Azel, the shirt I'm
Yeah,
wearing
that's a
right now.
sick shirt. I've never heard of them. I was wondering if that was a
They're
band.
they're they're brand new. They are extremely good sludge.
Okay.
She's a fifth grade teacher.
Right.
Her husband is the guitarist, and I met them on a forum thread, and then I checked their stuff out, and I'm like, whoa! So I did a little video for them and all that. So,
Oh, you did? Like a
Azel's
music
hi.
video?
I do, yeah, interviews,
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
or I did a review. I'm pretty sure I gave them at least a shout out on something. Um, God, there's so much
That's
music
a really
I've
cool
listened to
shirt,
late.
man. They should make us a shirt. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to look at my like Apple Music shit that I've been listening to.
Tell you what, I just did a very I'll plug this one. The band Witzgersuden is releasing their album Vessel, and I've gotten to know them really well. So we did an interview about 3 weeks ago,
Yeah,
and it ended up being a whole commentary of the whole album. So he just had me plug the whole album into it. So it's a complete commentary track to the whole album. I got permission from Ripple Music to post it. So
that's cool.
that's going live tomorrow.
Oh,
So
rad.
I've, I've been listening to Witzker. I've been listening to Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats.
Yeah, that one just came out. I haven't checked it out yet.
I don't like them,
Yeah,
right?
you don't like the
And
record or
this
like the band?
I don't like the band.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. This one is so effing
Oh,
good.
really?
I go back and go, well, okay, I missed this, I missed this, I
Yeah,
missed this, and it's like deep dive into Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats time.
that's cool. I have always dug that band. I just really like the way they record their records. I know the singer and the main guy is just like a huge Neil Young fan.
Hmm.
So like his Neil Young fandom like rubs off on my Neil Young fandom. So and like he tries to get that like same sound, and they just sound like they could be coming out of the 70s. And yeah, I think they're cool, but I get it. Some people want more bass in their recordings and more modern sounding, I guess.
Well, I'm a fan now. I like Bloodlust,
Yeah,
but they lost me a bit on Wasteland.
yeah.
I felt like they were recycling, and with um, no, God, I'm not even going
Italian
to try to
Italian
remember.
name, yeah, I can't.
No Bella Ora,
Yeah, okay.
something like no, Nel Ora Blue.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it
It's
out.
so I'm so into it that I started watching Dario Argento movies like
Yeah.
Bird with the Crystal Plumage and Don't Don't Torture a
Is that
Duckling.
like the
So it's
Italian horror movie shit?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I love that
yeah.
stuff.
That's what they base it on. So I'm watching these really fantastically bad movies, all because so they're they're stunning.
Yeah,
They just simply are. So
that's awesome, man. Yeah, other than that,
okay, dude.
I don't know what else I've been jamming, but I mean, I'm always looking now. Like, I don't know, Wand is really great. Like, they got a new one coming out. You should check that out.
Okay.
But yeah, more shit will come out.
Yeah, and in about 2 weeks, I'll be publishing my top, somewhere between top 10 to 20. Every year, I do my top 100 of the year.
Hell
And
yeah.
so,
It's a lot of
yeah,
records.
busy.
It's a
Dude,
lot of music, man. That's really cool.
well, it wouldn't be bad, except it's also good. It really is. I found an Italian band reach out to me called State of Non-Return.
Okay.
And first, nobody's ever heard of him, just some guy.
Yeah.
He's been tracking and mixing the album for 2 years. It is
Awesome.
it's astonishingly good, heavy psych, doom stuff. So it's always something.
It's a good time to
Red
live,
Mesa
man.
behind me.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Red Mesa. Yeah, we're playing with them in Albuquerque in a couple weeks. So yeah, we're fans and friends with them. So yeah, they're always a good time.
Check out my YouTube. When
Yeah,
we're done here, make sure you like,
yeah.
subscribe. I have two interviews with Brad from Red Mesa. I have the whole band. I did a review and then we did an interview. And somebody made the unfortunate mistake of calling Red Mesa mid
Oh
on as a comment. So I have a brand new video called "Kiss My Mids,"
no.
and you can say whatever you want,
Yeah, it's a free country.
but if you do, I'm gonna post it and I'm gonna do
Oh,
a
yeah.
video on you.
I
So
love the
yeah,
shit talkers. I welcome the shit talkers. If people are talking shit, you're doing something right.